I think we all realize that in order to stick to your budget and stay frugal and stay on the right path and achieve your goals, you have to be able to say no. 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 Now, if you have lots of money and you want to do everything and you want to be generous to everybody and contribute to every cause and throw money in the pot every time someone at the office has a birthday or a funeral or sneezes or whatever, go ahead and do it. If you want to do it and you have the money to do it, go ahead and do it. But the problem is, a lot of us don't feel like we really necessarily have the money to comfortably contribute to everything, but you feel that pressure. You want to say yes, but you really want to say no. And it's hard sometimes for some people to say no. But there is power in no. Knowing your limits, setting your boundaries, you're protecting yourself and your future and your family, and you need to be able to do that. I think some people have a lot of trouble saying no. My husband has a lot of trouble saying no. So I have tried to give him the words to say no, which goes something like, I'd love to do that. That sounds great, but that's just not in our budget right now. But sometimes I think he'd rather be stabbed in the head with an ice pick than have to utter those words. I think people are very embarrassed, even frugal people, to admit that they can't afford something or don't want to stretch themselves so thin to be able to afford it. I don't have trouble with it because, I'm such an extremist. I want to be known as the cheapest person that anybody's ever met. I'm already the loudest person everybody's ever met. I want to be the cheapest too. So if people ask me to do something, I might say, oh, thanks for the offer, but no, I'm not going to do that because I'm too cheap and I'm not going to spend the money. And then they kind of giggle and we walk off into the sunset happily, and it's not an issue. Now, one thing helped me in the beginning to learn to say no, and that was the concept of opportunity cost. This is a concept in economics where you look at what you've given up with any choice you have made. It's the cost of what you've chosen is the opportunity you've lost. And not just what else, for example, you could do with your money. So you've chosen to spend your money here, so you've lost the opportunity to do this with your money over here and possibly make your money grow like a beautiful flower by investing it so wisely in something that I'm not wise enough to invest in. So, when my older daughter was just a little baby snail, and I was raising her as a single mother, and I was just starting my fabulous career as a state social worker, people would say to me, hey Aim, we're going out to Chinese buffet for lunch, you want to come? And I knew that Chinese buffet was going to cost all of $5, including a soda, which isn't that bad. But you do that over and over and over again, you are just pissing your money away, or pooping it away, depending on how high fiber that Chinese lunch was. It always comes back to poop. Even though I might want to do that, because in my younger years I was a little bit more social and a little more desirous of having friends. So I might have wanted to go out to lunch with these people. But I would think in terms of, all right, if I choose to spend my $5 on this Chinese buffet, and believe me, I can work a buffet. I mean, I can really get my money's worth at a buffet. So I would think, all right, I could spend the money here, Chinese buffet, but what am I then not going to be able to provide for my child with that $5? I'm not saying you have to think like this. I'm just saying that this is what worked for me to enable me to just say, no thanks. And I don't know if people really judge you when you say no to something like that? And if they do, who cares? So I would think very specifically. Some people think in terms of how long did it take me to earn the money to buy that thing? And that technique works for some people, but that doesn't really work for me. I don't know why. But the opportunity cost way of thinking does work for me. So I would think, alrighty, I could go out and fill my fat face with Chinese food for $5, or I could buy $5 worth of really nice, high-quality hamburger meat and have a cookout with my daughter. And this was back when we were meat eaters, and we had an Amish market nearby that had just the most amazing food and the most tender meat and the most delicious cheeses and the most delicious many things. Loved the Amish market. So that's how I would think of it. I would think if I spend $5 on lunch rather than just eating my peanut butter sandwich, then that's $5 I'm not going to be able to spend on my daughter. And I'm one of those people who, like, everything is about their kids. Like, my whole reason for living is my 3 daughters, and some people might disagree with that and say, that's foolish, you're stupid, you gotta live for yourself, whatever, let them fly, cut the umbilical cord, whatever, but they are my reason for living. Taking care of them, this brings meaning to my life. Okay, so that's me. So anyway, they're always my priority, and thinking that I would be taking something away from one of my kids in order to do something social myself, like, I'm just never ever gonna do that. Though if you guys want to do that, you can. If you want to have girl night and go out with your friends and have a glass of wine, and you feel that that makes you a happier, more relaxed person and thusly a better mother or partner or whatever, you can justify that, because I'm not going to even pretend that I'm like a super great mother or wife, quite frankly, but yeah, I'm not going to spend the money on myself. I'm just saying that's how I keep myself from spending money. I think in terms of, if I choose this, what am I not going to be able to do for my child? So that concept of opportunity cost, which we should all be aware of because we should have some basic financial and economic knowledge, it might help you, because maybe somebody will say to you, hey Starshine, we are going out for drinks after work on Friday. You want to come? And you're thinking to yourself, kind of, yeah, I kind of do, but I really can't afford it. I know if we go to that Mexican restaurant, we're going to get those big-ass frozen margaritas, and they're so delicious, and once I have one, I'm going to want another, and once I've had 2, there's no saying no, so I'm going to jump to 4, plus the nacho grande platter, and each one of those margaritas costs $5 or $6. I mean, just like, we're not even talking dinner, we're just talking like drinks and an appetizer, and you are blowing a lot of cash. So maybe your alternative, maybe your opportunity lost isn't feeding my children. Maybe it's, I wanted to save for this really nice new watch that I've got my eye on at Coach. Or I'm really saving for a new car, or a car repair, or a vacation, or a new winter coat, or a hat, or whatever else you might want to use your money for, that you don't want to just go blow $50 for one evening. And I know a social life is important, especially when you're young. I mean, you get to a certain age, and I'm not going to say for all old people a social life isn't important, but just for me, as I've gotten older, I just really have kind of given up on having a social life. But my new dog loves me. Opportunity cost. So what are you giving up by the choice you make? And therefore, don't choose to blow your money on the largest frappuccino that Starbucks can concoct for you. Save that money to go towards your other goals. Stay focused on what's really important to you. And it's okay to say no to people who are trying to drain you of your cash. You can say no. It's okay. And it doesn't matter what they think of you. It doesn't matter if they think you're poor. Oh, she's poor. And it doesn't matter if they think you're cheap. Oh, she's so cheap. If I heard someone say, Amy is so freaking cheap, and they meant it as an insult, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, damn straight, sister, I am cheap. And that's my own business. I'm not going to take away from my kids to contribute to somebody's retirement party. I mean, Jesus, isn't retirement itself gift enough? Like, my work group a few times went to Atlantic City, and they stayed overnight, and they got a good deal on the hotel, and they ate, and they drank, and they gambled, and they had a great time together, and I saw the pictures, and it looked really fun. On some level, I would have liked to be able to do that, but first of all, I wasn't going to take the money away from the family pot for what I needed to do for my child. I also wasn't going to take the time away from my child. Now again, other people think of it differently and know that they need some rest and relaxation away from their kids. I get that. But I just feel like life is so short, and the Grim Reaper is like breathing down my neck, and I have so little time with these children. I really do think about death a lot. I just wouldn't take a weekend away, from my kids, probably, most likely, And I'm too cheap. And yeah. The money could be better spent elsewhere. Over here, not over here. Does that all make sense? That whole opportunity cost thing? Basically, if you choose one thing, you're giving up something else. That's it. And the power of saying no, it's okay to say no. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to you, my friends.